King Matic, King Matic. King Matic, King Matic.
Activist. He brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission, to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project Studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermain Botsio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation, Double Barrel J's edition, with me, your gracious host, Jermain Botsio, and our brother from down under, brother from another mother, the liberal slayer, our good friend, Mind of Jamal. How are you doing here, brother?
When I say who the master, fire! You say Shona.
Oh
or
yeah.
Jamal. What's going on, Jermain? Is you ready?
Oh yeah.
To have some fire.
You know it. We're ready. I'm ready. I've been ready all week for the show. Let me tell you. We got a beautiful show lined up for you guys, so please, oh please, help us out. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. All right. Here in Minnesota, it's getting cold again. Oh, yeah. People start putting away the skirts and the shorts. And flip-flops stay on yearly, though. But them shorts and skirts, they do get put up, let me tell you. So it's getting cold, you know. I seen the kids outside rolling around with their little beanie caps on and stuff like that. I said, man, ain't that a sorry mother? You know it. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? How's everybody doing in your neck of the woods? Hopefully you are doing well, brother. How are you doing in your neck of the woods there? Carolina, I know right now, the temperature is dropping just a bit, but it's still a little bit of a scorcher.
Today it was 77 degrees today.
There you go.
It
What I
was
tell
still
you.
decent, but 40 in the afternoon was 40. It was 40 in the morning. But before we go any further, Jermain, you know we got to thank everybody who come,
yeah.
and we got to thank those who gave. I would like to thank Shane, Super Shane. Thank you for your kindness and generosity.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and give you the customaries. And
he gave us a gift subscription that I got to Jermain's Conservative Nation. So I got a free subscription.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to Shane 0316 doing what it does.
Yes, he did.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and begin. I see some of y'all been waiting here for a while. Trust and believe I'm ready as well, all right? Absolutely. So make sure you guys do your due diligence. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Brother, before we go, we got one more. Yvette Romick Spillman says challenge number 1 for tonight's show. Who's with me? $5 challenge. Let me go ahead and give her the customary. Beautiful. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share as well. First one up here. I want to go ahead here, ladies and gentlemen, and speak to you about the baby mama epidemic. The epidemic is still going very strongly.
Very strong.
And it seems like there's no shame anymore. See, once we remove the traditional family, the nuclear family here in America, we get nothing but craziness. Yeah, we get bullshit. You know what that is. Yeah, you know what that is. We get that. And let me tell you something. It is crazy. I want to show you guys something that has gone viral. A post. Okay? A young woman, 26 years old, put out a post thinking that she was going to get love. And let me tell you something. She got the love she was looking for. I want you guys to take a look at this. Make sure you share. This woman right here goes by the name of Sean Lavelle James. All right, put out a post, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you something. This post here, let me see what it's breaking down to right now. It's breaking down to about 8,000 shares, okay? 19,000 folks have commented, and all the other stuff that goes along with it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. It's something serious. I want to go ahead and show you guys this here, though. It says, everybody's always asking me why I am a mother of 5 at the age of 26 and she's single. If y'all was really smart, you'd understand kids is the biggest hustle out here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I stumble a bit, bear in mind these young folks, they didn't graduate from school well, and their English isn't good. Okay, so sometimes my brain tries to correct it in mid-sentence. Yeah, and it's kind of wild, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bear that in mind. So let's go ahead and go for it. It says, if y'all was really smart, you'd understand kids is the biggest hustle out here. I don't clock into no job. I let Uncle Sam and the baby daddies cut me a check every month. 5 kids equals 5 bags. Food stamps, free rent, free health care, and child support on top of that. I added that in there. You know, that was real nice. It says my bills are paid before I even wake up. Everybody keeps asking why I had 5 kids, because every single one comes with a check attached. My life secured while y'all stressing over 9 to 5s. Don't be mad at me. Be mad you ain't catch on the hustle. Ow! So there you go. Jamal, let me tell you something. That is wild. Okay? That is wild. Single mama of 5. It has gone viral. Everybody and their mama's mama is speaking about this. And let me tell you something. When I first read it, Jamal, I thought, this was just a prank. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know how people love to troll online? Yeah. I'm thinking that this is a troll. I said, how dare she go ahead and play with people's hearts? I'm thinking that this is some sort of rage bait type of stuff. But then I go ahead and click on her profile and her page, and let me tell you something. It ain't. It's the real deal. It's the real deal. What do you think about this here? And before you answer that, I want to go ahead and give some folks a shout out. They have taken
big time
the $5 challenge. All right. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to V Long. V Long took the $5 challenge. Absolutely. And V Long says accepted. Joy RR says taking challenge with you, ready to stand with president on the government. Stand down. Absolutely. And Peaceful Sticks. Absolutely. So, brother, I got some supporting evidence for this right here. I do, and I'm gonna show the supporting evidence right after this. What do you think about what this woman is saying here? All right, she's saying 5 kids, 5 checks, a hustle, Uncle Sam. You get what I'm saying? The hardworking folks. The people at Jiffy Lube, the people who are the cashiers at Walmart, the people who are washing the windows on the skyscrapers. Those are the folks who are paying for her, and she's okay with it. She's okay with waking up late, and burning toast. What do you think about this here, sir?
You know what, Jermain? I'm going to say this. Are we surprised? Are we really surprised? Ever since the 1960s, people have seen that the black community has always said we're not the only ones on welfare, but we're the only ones who celebrate it. There was this video made about people on welfare, and you see the white woman, she ashamed of it. She wanted to hurry up and get off it. But you see the black girls, they happy, they believe they deserve it and stuff like that. And of course, it's not every black person that's on it that's happy, but it's too many of the overrepresentation of black folk who are on it, and they're satisfied. This is what they believe is their life.
Yep.
They need to cut these checks and force these women to work. Now, if she wants to be that, then fine. Let it be on her own time with her own money. But they need to stop this. And I said the government, the Republican Party, as big as we talk, Jermain, as big as we talk, we are still, too many Republicans are scared to be called the racist and scared to be said they're trying to hurt poor people. What they need to do is have it so if you are on welfare, first child you get like $400 or $500, but second child you drop automatically to $250. They cut your check in half.
Man,
so
you nice.
only gonna get so that way.
Yeah,
they're gonna be
nice
children,
guy.
but you ain't gonna make a career out of it.
You nice. I'm telling you, Jamal, you real nice. Ladies and gentlemen, Jamal said $400 for your first bastard child. Your first bastard one is what? How much? $400?
I'll say give him about $400-$500.
$400-$500. You know how much I would say for a bastard child, ladies and gentlemen? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Zilch. I say $0 for your first bastard child. You know, in Africa, you know how much they give you for your first bastard child, ladies and gentlemen?
They don't even play that in Africa.
Lint in your pocket and probably a belt scrape on your ass. Yeah, that's what you get. And everywhere you go, people are looking at you silly and you're being shunned. You go and ask the African women who have bastard children how hard their life is. And I'm telling you, when you see how hard their life is, going from place to place with your bastard child, asking for help, right? You even go to the pastor don't even want to help you. Yeah, that's how terrible it is. And when you see that as a young woman, and you see a woman who's had bastard child after bastard child struggling like that, and you see people shunning away from her, right? And they're talking really nasty about her and stuff like that. You don't want to, enjoy that type of lifestyle either. You would say, you know what? I'm cool on that. That don't look real nice. I'm going to wait until Brad get a nice job and he get down on one knee and he really mean what he says. Okay? Because, in the long run, men love. Yeah, I know. We really do. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to the, what is offered in marriage nowadays for men, you really got to love a woman to get married, let me tell you. You really do. I want to go ahead and show you guys something here.
Jermain.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, I got to thank somebody who took the $5 challenge. All right, $5 challenge. I would like to thank Greg Rowan. Thank you for your kindness and generosity and donation to the page.
Absolutely.
And looks like John Lennon as well. John Lennon. Thank you for your PayPal. Thank you, gentlemen, for your kindness and generosity.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and show you guys something here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share.
Please like and share, y'all. Share. If you can't donate, please share.
Please, oh please. Now, there's a woman who just put something on TikTok. Okay, she's gathered a lot of attention for this. And I want you guys to see why she's garnered a lot of attention. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. She put, yes, I get EBT. So what? I want you guys to get this. Listen to what she's saying here. Single mama of three bastard children. Okay, 3. Take a look.
Look, I get it. A lot of you are mad that I don't work and that I get EBT. Look, I get it. A lot of you are mad that I don't work and that I get get EBT. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not my fault that I had 3 kids. It's not my fault.
Not her fault that she had 3 kids.
I need help supporting these kids.
Man.
So that's the government's job. That's what they're there for.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like it, that's just too bad for you. Like, get over it.
Yep, get over it.
Quit talking shit on my comments.
Stop
They
it.
do nothing. I laugh at
Every
them
last
and
one of
move
them is
on.
on TikTok.
Most of them I don't
check.
even read because I already know what they say.
Just
So
stop
you're
it.
wasting your time. You guys should be working instead of wasting your time on TikTok anyway.
Yep, working.
So you can stop worrying about what I'm doing and maybe make some money at your job. I don't know. Whatever it is you guys do all day, go do that and stop harassing me.
Bow. So, this white woman, this white woman here, ladies and gentlemen, we have another one, right? Ain't our society so nice, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, don't we have a nice society? Yeah, we do. I swear to goodness, America's so nice. This woman here, she says it's not her fault she had 3 children. Jamal, did you hear that? It wasn't her fault that she had 3 children.
What you have to understand, she tripped and fell on a penis.
Oh, I didn't know. Apparently, that's a thing, ladies and gentlemen.
She tripped and fell
Tripped
and fell
and
on
fall on a penis is a thing. So she had them children. She didn't. It wasn't her fault. She did. It's not her fault that she can't afford them either, and it's not her fault she didn't stay with the children's father either, ladies and gentlemen. It's not her fault. Okay, it's not her fault that Tommy's a drug dealer and always drunk. You get what I'm saying? It's not her fault. She gets $1,500 a month and she doesn't work. Jamal, what do you think about this?
They need to cut her check and cut it now. This is the problem, and this is a major problem. When your kindness is being abused, you do not have to continue to give that kindness. Christians are, if they are abused, the scriptures tell you, give thanks when you are used. Give thanks when you are used, when they spitefully use you. That's Christian. When it comes to the government, that's Caesar. Jesus Christ was God Almighty, said, render unto Caesar those things unto Caesar, render those things unto God unto God. Welfare is unto Caesar.
Yeah.
Cut that check.
Cut
it. And when they try to say that's not Christian-like, you're correct. We're dealing with Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
And Caesar need to cut that check.
I think it's absolutely crazy. You know, if you have folks who are like this, who are out there willingly taking advantage of the system now, right? And women know what I'm talking about. You know, I think that's why, women like to talk to men. They know that, I'm not going to be like a bewildered guy speaking with them. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to be all, mesmerized because you got a vagina. It just doesn't mesmerize me. I just like speaking about what's real. And what's real is that if a lot of these women understood that, hey, if I'm having a bastard child with Tommy, who's an alcoholic, okay, and I know he's an alcoholic before I tripped and fell on his penis. I know he is. If I have his child, gosh darn it, nobody's going to give me money. They stop doing it. They would. Women know what I'm talking about. They would, but they know that, hey, it's an easy way to get a child without, going through the whole marriage process. And I think that's where the rubber meets the road in a lot of these things. I think a lot of these women here, either the morality is so low because of our culture that they engage in this casual sex to a point where they're careless. You get what I'm saying, Jamal? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's either that or the latter, and I'm hoping it's in a sense, well, either both of them are either bad. I want to go ahead and show you guys something else here before we move on. All right, I want to show you another one here. This one is a little bit different. This is when you're you're in it a little bit. You're in it about 2 EBT cards deep. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, 2 EBT cards deep. I like that. I want to show you guys this. It's called I Need My Link Card. Black mama, pregnant, is trying to take her son's EBT card. Because, when you're young like that, the government give you an EBT card as well. Yeah. They government giving everybody cash except for the responsible folks. You get what I'm saying? Everybody and their mama is getting cash except for the folks who are out there working. Let me tell you. I want to show you guys this here. She wants to use the money for the household because she used up all hers. I want you guys to take a look. Here we go. Make sure you share. Make sure you hit that like button. We need your help. Here we go.
My link card. I'm 18
I'm not
now.
giving you shit. You live in my fucking house. You're not getting your damn link
You don't
card.
give me no money for my card or nothing.
Why am I giving
It's
you
my
money?
link card.
I'm not giving you shit.
I'm 18 now. I get to decide whatever I want about with my link card.
You don't get to decide.
You get
nothing.
3 link cards. Why you want to hold mine?
You don't get to because this is my fucking house. That's
And
why
you keep deciding. You keep spending on everybody.
She
but
pregnant
me.
again.
I feel like I have a link card.
I'm telling you, and she not married. How much you want to bet?
I don't have no
That's
food
why
to
she
eat.
getting the
You better all
EBT.
baby snacks.
Jamal, she need to be in
What?
jail.
It's meat in there. There's pizza rolls in there.
You know what?
There's
Yes.
snacks in
That's
there.
why
This
all
is
of
beyond
these
that.
women
Why? So you
gotta
can
go
buy
to
snacks
jail.
with it?
You
That's
making
what
me
you
pay
wanna
rent.
do.
Yeah,
you
jail
take my
will be
link card.
filled
I
with
don't have nothing
ain't
to
pieces of POS women. And I want to go ahead and put this here.
That's what you fella realize. I don't need you to fucking take care of me.
What I want to put this out here, Jamal. The women would say if the guys are going around and making babies. As a matter of fact, let me ask you this, Jamal. This is a very simple question. Jamal, if I'm a guy and I'm running around and having babies with women and I'm broke and I have no means of taking care of them or sometimes even taking care of myself, what kind of guy am I? Am I a good man? What would you say I am?
I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna answer that question with a question. If a sorry man and you know he's sorry and you open up your legs to him, doesn't that make you just as sorry? If you know he's sorry, if you already got kids unmarried, why are you going to continue to have kids unmarried? Why are you going to continue to put yourself in that predicament to where you're going to have a child?
You better stop.
And you're unmarried.
You better stop that, Jamal.
Goes back to the point. It goes back to the point. These women themselves are responsible because it's not every black man, like Kevin Samuels pointed out. Majority of black men now are not having kids.
Yeah, they're
we're not
childless.
We're waiting. But it's a bunch of us that are having kids by different women.
Yep.
And these black women are sharing these sorry niggas around. So they getting a bunch of sorry niggas babies. And her son That's sorry, because if he knows the household don't have enough food in the house, and then he has a way to put food in the
Yep,
house,
he don't
and
want to.
he's so selfish, he won't help put food in the house. That's why you need men in the home, because there's no way a
Exactly.
son's supposed to tell mama, we ain't got enough food in the house. That's on you. This is my EBT card. So he himself is lazy. So when he screw a woman and get her pregnant, he gonna make her just as lazy.
Absolutely. Jamal, you ain't lying about that one. Let me tell you, you ain't lying about that one. That's exactly what's going on here. You know, mama is not doing the right job, and there isn't a father there to, show what the right job should be as well. And this is what's going on in white and black households across America here, is this type of setup here. And I believe, in a sense, you should be jailed. I mean, I think it's crazy for you to go around and have children like this, especially women. Women, in a sense, bear the more share of the responsibility. Yeah, believe it or not, you do. I'm not one of these guys who's going to lie to you because I'm trying to get in your pants. I don't care. You get what I'm saying? I just don't care. I'm telling you, you do, because you're the only one that gets pregnant, gains weight, puts your life at risk. Women, you're the only one who does that. So you have to be very selective in who you choose to have a child with. And apparently nowadays this is not being taught. And the reason why we stick to this subject a lot is because, ladies and gentlemen, conservatives don't speak about it enough, and liberals understand that this type of issue here is what brings them more liberals. It brings them more voters. And I don't think that conservatives out there understand that this family dynamic is something that is a hindrance to, bringing America back. I hope you guys understand that. We can't bring America back if America is like this.
Nope.
You just can't do it. You need strong families. And this ain't a strong family if your mama is trying to take your link card because she can't work and she pregnant by another man's baby who ain't in the house. This is a way to destroy America. Imagine you have a population that's filled with this. You know how easy it would be to dominate them? To pass bullshit laws, right? To push homosexuality and all this immoral things. You know how easy it would be? Very easy. It's the main reason why America is screwed up right now. Because we don't have enough strong households that have strong families in there so that we can have a better population, a better America. I don't want my sister, my brother, my aunt, my uncle to be having a life like this. This is a hellish life. It is. And I want the women to understand, any guy that thinks that this is a good life, he is smoking rocks. Let me tell you, he is. Why would you want to have a life like this, where you don't have anybody to help you with your children and you're struggling to eat? Last words on this here before we move on.
Jermain, it's easy for these people to do this. It's because, number one, we are dealing with a generation of people that are selfish. The reason why the Democrat Party is so successful, because they appeal to people's selfishness. Mm-hmm. They know it is the responsibility of your fellow American citizen to help take care of the poor. That's why you have poorhouses. But the Democrat Party comes along and says, no, you keep your money in your pocket. We'll get it from the government. Well, while doing that, they're picking up two voters. They're picking up the poor so they can keep them addicted to their freebie drugs, which that's what the free government money is drugs.
Yep, it is.
And then they get the lazy people who don't want to help. I hear black folk in black churches all the time talk about them evil white Republicans wanting to cut everybody help. Well, how about y'all stop paying these pastors, stop paying the choir director, stop paying the piano player, and take the money from the church and start helping to pay the poor? Because Jesus Christ, God Almighty, said, the poor ye shall have with you always. He won't talking to Caesar, he was talking to the church.
Yep.
That's why people want the Democrat Party, because the Democrat Party will leave them of their responsibilities.
Yep.
Just like this welfare hussy and her son, that's what the Democrat Party has done.
It's just out of control. Out of control. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and move on. I want to speak to you guys, switching gears a little bit. I want to speak to you guys about Charlie Kirk. This saga is still going on. Oh, yeah, it's going on. And let me tell you something. It's scorching and it's on fire. It's on fire right now still. Oh, yeah. And Candace Owens has just basically torched the Charlie Kirk bus. You know, she's torched it and lit it on fire. And there's folks getting off the bus. And the bus driver is having a hard time driving right now. Have you guys seen the movie Speed? You guys remember Speed back in the day? That was back in the day when movies were good. You get what I'm saying? Nowadays, with all the CGI BS and stuff like that, you know, it just is just not the same. But it's kind of like the movie Speed. Let me tell you. Let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. Candace Owens put out what people are calling receipts. And she shares a group chat with Charlie Kirk in it, speaking about Israel. Now, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, is that Candace Owens has a theory. And a lot of people next to her and a lot of people across from her have the same theory that Israel is somehow behind it. Behind Charlie Kirk's assassination. They have something to do with it. And they're basing this on a theory that, hey, because Charlie Kirk, in the last, month that he was alive there, he was pulling away from, supporting Israel. All right. And him losing donors and things of that nature basically set the stage for his assassination. Now, Candace Owens has, carried the torch for that. And she has also said that she has receipts on it. Now, a lot of folks out there, they questioned her. They called her a liar. Okay. There were people saying that she's a liar, pants on fire. Yeah, liar, pants on fire. Let me tell you. And, I thought her pants were scorching and she was tap dancing. But apparently, it wasn't that hot. And I want you guys to take a look at the receipts she has. And when it's done, we'll speak about it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share, all right? Absolutely. Here we go.
And others knew that Charlie was done with Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof of what I am saying. This is an actual group chat, which happened 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. There were 9 people in total on this chat, including Charlie and Rob McCoy. I'm going to protect the names of the other 7 for now. To be clear, I might actually release a name every day this week, but I want to show you this because suffice it to say, Rob McCoy was on this text thread, and I think it helps contextualize him as a person, in my view, that he would attack me for telling the truth about the pressure that he was facing. Take a look. So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, ugh. Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. Then somebody writes, a donor writes, please do not invite Candace. That might feel good short term, but it's not good long term. In my opinion, like all groups, you're going to get a wide variety of opinions. That nasty free will thing that God bestowed on us makes life frustrating at times after the dust settles a bit, maybe. So again, this is 48 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was very clear and he was very explicit, and he did not back down, not in that Hamptons meeting, which they're all lying about, nor in this text thread. I'm not going to reveal the names of the other 7. Actually, you know what? I disagree with myself 4 seconds ago. Let's just throw in Josh Hammer for funsies. He's on this chat, okay? So what are we to make of that? Okay, now that I'm showing you this and showing to you that the conversations were real, I want you to reflect, and it took me a lot of patience to allow the lies that were being woven and the misrepresentations of people that were pretending that I was just, high on lying about Charlie and the pressure he was under, the attacks that not just me, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly faced for trying to stand up and tell the truth about what Charlie was actually going through. Why are you hearing it, though, from me and Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly? Isn't that weird? You got people that are hosting a show. Have they, in like one honorable thing, come out and said, like, you know what? F a couple of these donors who made his life a living hell over the last couple of weeks. Why haven't they done that? There's also a rabbi in that chat. Like, why hasn't anybody made that move to at least say, to vindicate what I have been saying about what he was going through? That registers to me as very suspicious. I'm going to frankly say that. It's suspicious to me. It makes me think that in the same way that Charlie was being pressured by money, that you might be now run by that same money, that those same donors might be running you to correct the ship and to focus yourselves on eulogizing Charlie as something and someone that never once flinched, never once for a single second doubted.
Wow. So that's Candace Owens. Right now, she's let me tell you, she's being fought from end to end. So she is saying, Jamal, that because of his his stance that he had, can't come to because of what he's calling, they're fitting all his stereotypes is what he put in there. She believes that, they had it out for him, and she's believing that a lot of these commentators here are not, speaking the truth about, things that really went on, because they're all ran by, these Jewish donors that, don't want, basically the influence to be revealed. What do you say to this here?
I want to thank J9000. J9000
Shout out to
J9000 to
J9000.
someone. J9000 Nation. Thank you, J9000, for the gift subscription to Conservative Nation.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go back to something I said for months, and I went back down. I don't know what's in the water with a lot of these conservatives now. With it's all let's turn on Israel, turn on Israel, turn on Israel, turn on Israel. Back when Joe Biden was president, it was Israel, Israel, Israel. Let's support Israel. Let's support Israel. Now that Trump's in office, is oh, let's turn our back on Israel. Oh, let's turn our back on Israel. It was in when Joe Biden was in office. People didn't mind helping Israel out, and one of the things people said was, oh, if we're going to give our taxpayer money to anybody, give it to an ally to help, which was Israel, because Israel had the 7th of October 2020. Now, if you have a friend, Jermain, and you start noticing that his family and friends are turning against you for some reason, the first thing you do is you're going to be like, hey, what the heck is going on? And that's what Israel is doing. Now, when people say these content creators, oh, they're giving out checks. No, they're not. That lie, people have been telling this lie. Jews own this and Jews own Hollywood and all that. Well, if the Jews been running it, and they've been exposing the Jews for running Hollywood, and look at what Hollywood producing now. We need to go back and let the Jews go back and run it, and maybe we can stop all this trans stuff and all this homosexuality stuff getting all in every picture, all in the kids' picture, because we're exposing Jews who are behind Hollywood. Now every time you turn around, we got trans kids and homosexuality in every cartoon, in every picture. Snoop Dogg even can't even go to the movies. When it comes to Candace Owens, I just want to show this real quick, Jermain. When it comes to Candace Owens, this was her standing with the NAACP.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Okay, 2007, and then all of a sudden,
money.
it changed. All of a sudden, it changed. So is she faking? No, I don't think she was faking, because she went and asked for help from the NAACP. But the same way she wasn't faking and she's real about being a conservative, same thing when it comes to Israel. Israel did not knock off Charlie Kirk. They wouldn't dare do that. They're not that deceitful. Now, will liberals do something like that? Yes. Will Hamas do something like that? Yes. Will the Palestinians do stuff like that? Yes. What will it gain for Israel to sit here to be caught up in something that's going to bring about an American's death, especially one like Charlie Kirk? He disagreed. Fine, you disagree. Let us talk. Let us try to convince you, which people are supposed to do. Hey, we'll donate to your page if you hey, just can you just be a little bit more kinder? That's what people do. That don't mean they had nothing nefarious, and because he turned them down, they wanted a murder. But Candace Owens is trying to take this stand because she's still mad at Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Because
and
if
Jamal,
anybody,
sorry to cut you off there, but
my bad,
brother, don't you think that and I had this talk with somebody else. Every person that seems to work with her, she ends up falling out with. Don't you see that there's a seem to think that there's a problem with that? Like, anytime that she works with close to somebody, they end up having a fallout. Like they're to the point where they don't speak to her again. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like you got to judge someone by the company that keeps going on. And I go back to when her and Ben Shapiro had their little disagreement because somebody said something about her to Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro didn't defend her like she believes she should be defended. Then all of a sudden, Christ is king. If you won't say it, when you knew this man who was Jewish hired you, you knew he didn't believe Jesus. You knew he didn't believe in Jesus Christ as God Almighty. You knew that when you went to work for him. It's like if I go work for a Muslim, I know you ain't gonna believe in Jesus Christ, God Almighty. You gonna believe in Muhammad. So I know that. But when we fall out, now all of a sudden I want to witness to everybody. All of a sudden I want to start witnessing around the building. It's just this. I'm so sick and tired of the people who wait for a Democrat to be in office to support and stand with Israel, But soon as a Republican get in office, oh, you don't. We need to ignore. It's none of our business. So basically, you really don't support anything other than whatever the Democrats are for, you against.
Yeah.
Whatever they're against, you're for.
You're for. Yeah. You know, a lot of folks were telling me that it's because of her research she did on Israel and her asking certain questions, and also, you know, the donors and also the influence, you know, and I understand both sides of the equation here. You know, I understand a lot of the stuff that Candace Owens has a problem with. I understand it. And I understand that a lot of the stuff that she is pushing, in a sense, goes along with the folks who, in my mind, are the extremists, which, you know, they hate Jews with all their heart. You know, it's almost akin to the folks who love Nick Fuentes. Now, Nick Fuentes, I believe he's an actor. I believe he's sent to destroy the conservative movement, basically, by a lot of the stuff he says. You know, he doesn't really like black folks. I mean, and I don't really care about all that, but the stuff he says is inflammatory. And then he, you know, grifts back into the conservative rhetoric to bring folks along, you know. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a chameleon changing its colors. That's what he is, in a sense, in the conservative movement, and that's the way I look at Candace Owens. Candace Owens has been a chameleon for the whole time. She's always gosh darn changing.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm not saying change is a bad thing, but when are you going to be, you know, psychologically and intellectually sound? You get what I'm saying? You can always change when you get new bits of information that change your ground consensus of what you think, your ground foundation of your belief system. I understand that, but she's always changing her ground belief system. And that to me is scary. You get what I'm saying? It's very scary that somebody can, you know, fundamentally always change their ground, their you know, their belief system like that all the time. You know, it's very, very, very scary. They're a person that you can't trust, in a sense. And when it comes down to it, you can see nobody can really trust her, because what she says today can change tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? And that's exactly what's going on. And if you look at her history, that's her history. What she says now isn't what she will believe the next day or the next day. It ends up changing. So that's where it is with her. We shall see, you know, what transpires next. But I know she has torched the Charlie Kirk bus, and this conspiracy theory stuff is, you know, getting out of control. Now they're saying that Erica Kirk basically set him up. This is what the new theory is. They won't stop, Jamal. They're saying Erica Kirk, his wife, set him up and was working with Israel. This is what they were saying. I don't understand how they even come up with this stuff. I just don't. But it is what it is. Moving forward, there is a fight on the GOP health care right now. Okay? The fight is real. It's the real deal. All right? And let me tell you something. When it comes to Republicans sticking together,
oh God,
they don't. I don't know what's wrong with them.
They Republicans.
I don't know what's wrong with them, ladies and gentlemen. How come they don't stick together? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong with them? They never stick together. I want you guys to take a look at this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, surprising break over the GOP health care bill. I want you guys to take a look at this. When it come back, we shall speak about it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
We are now on day 7 of the government shutdown, and at least one conservative Republican is breaking ranks publicly. Marjorie Taylor Greene saying she is not towing the party line on this, that her own adult children's insurance premiums for 2026 are going to double if the ACA subsidies expire. And Trump even suggested yesterday he would be open to health care talks with Democrats to end the shutdown. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas, serves on the Oversight Committee. She joins me now. Congresswoman, we've seen a bunch of indicators over the last 24 hours, from Trump saying it publicly to Marjorie Taylor Greene's post to a piece in the Wall Street Journal and even something in Politico now, that there are rumbles within the Republican Party that want to try to come to some deal on the subsidies. Are you hearing anything like that yourself?
Not necessarily. And I just talked to one of my Republican colleagues about 30 minutes ago because I was trying to find out if we were actually going to go back into session next week as my staff is trying to plan what's going on. But I can tell you, we actually discussed that Marjorie was flipping on this because it seems like everything that is important, this child ain't read the bill and has no idea of what's going on. I don't understand why Georgia keeps sending her to D.C., but this is not the first time that she wasn't quite clear on what damage it was that her party was ushering in. But listen, I will take her seeing the light at any point in time. And so, yeah, it's sad that she can only see the light when it directly impacts her because she is elected to represent almost 1 million people. And so not listening to your constituents as they're calling and they're talking about their struggles, but then making it about your children, your adult children, because their premiums are going to go up. Listen, I'll take a yes vote or somebody coming to the table whatever way I can get it. But I just don't believe that that's how government is supposed to work. I don't have any children. When I am governing for the people that elected me. And I don't think that I should be looking at it and thinking, well, because this personally is going to impact me, then maybe I should flip how I feel about it.
Yeah, I should note also in that statement, in all fairness, she did talk about the people in her district who are facing the same. One of the issues right now is that you guys are, when you were saying you're asking about next week, so the House is out, and it was supposed to come back next week. Now it's not coming back next week. What has been communicated about how long the House is going to be out? It seems like the idea is that you don't come back before the shutdown ends, which seems difficult to do if you want to actually negotiate some end to the shutdown.
Yeah, that was my question, because I said, is it that we're not going to go back until and unless the Senate passes the House's version? Because what if the Senate actually does come to some sort of an agreement, right, and the Senate passes a version, then we need to come back.
Let me go ahead and stop it right here. So there you guys go. You got Ratchet Crockett speaking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, Jamal, Marjorie Taylor Greene has an issue with this bill here. She's saying that if they go ahead and pass this bill with everything in it, the premiums in 2026 is going to jump. She said that the people in her district can't already afford the health care premiums as is, and this is just outrageous. This is what she's saying, and she will not toe the party line. What do you think about this? Because what she is doing, in a sense, it is causing a big rift. And there's another senator, I forgot what their name is, but they're thinking about going along with her. What do you say to this here, Congressperson? Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Some Republicans are in this to make the biggest waves and have the biggest sound. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I admit it, there are times I've liked her, there's times I don't. She says if they don't pass this bill, people insurance premiums are going to go up. Did she run on repealing Obamacare?
Nope.
Did she run on repealing Obamacare? Yes, she did. She was one of those people that said they had to get rid of it. Once Obamacare came entangled.
Oh, did she go before Obamacare?
Yeah, she used to be against Obamacare.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. I'm looking at her term now. Yep, she did.
Okay. Once Obamacare, which is cancer, got hooked into things, like cancer, to remove it, you have to cut it out or radiation out. Both of them will make you sick. Both of them will hurt you, to where some people say it's better to keep the cancer. Well, that's what has happened to Obamacare. It's got so entangled to where it's, to some, better to keep the cancer. For Marjorie Taylor Greene to open up her mouth like this and all of a sudden, well, I don't care, we need to pass this to keep people insurance premiums down. What raised their premiums?
Obamacare did, actually.
Okay. Ever since Obama, Jermain, I remember working at Purdue Chicken. I had health insurance for $30 a week. It's $30. That included vision, dental, and health. When Obamacare came along and when they made them expensive prices to pay for people who should had high premiums because they big and fat, it raised it for everyone else. I'm sorry, Marjorie Taylor Greene is wrong on this. And if the people in her district insurance, if their vote will be determined by the insurance, okay, I'm not surprised. But hey, she needs to know what's more important. If the Democrats win, everything she has stood and fought for has been for nothing. Yeah. And they're going to throw her out of office. Rightfully so.
The way I look at it, Jamal, is that she doesn't know wholeheartedly that if it will or not. These are just projections pushed out by the CBO. You get what I'm saying? The Congressional Budget Office.
Which have been wrong.
Yeah, which they've been wrong all the time. So she doesn't know how much it will go up. One thing I can tell you is that when it comes to Republicans sticking together, there's something going on. They just don't do it. We always get folks like Marjorie Taylor Greene, or we get the Mitt Romneys, folks that there's something wrong with them. For us to make sure that we get the legislation we need here in America and to support the president's agenda, we got to stick together. The liberals, the Democrats, when pushing Obama or this guy here, what's his name, Biden's agenda, they always stick together. Ain't not one of them defected. They didn't. They all stuck together. Now, can you think of one that defected besides Tulsi Gabbard? I think she was just confused and she didn't know what was going on.
2 senators did. One was Joe Manchin from West Virginia, but he lives in a red state.
Yeah, but
and Christian Gillibrand from Arizona. That's why they voted her out.
Gillibrand too. I think she was confused as well.
But there's
folks that were just. I think they just confused. You get what I'm saying?
No, they actually did push back, but eventually they voted. Like one of Joe Biden bills he wanted, they did vote against it and killed it with the Republicans because they said it would hurt. But yeah, they eventually went along with the Democrats. They eventually did. I'm not gonna lie. However, they did push back in the beginning of the administration. Joe Manchin did push back against it.
Yeah, we need to stick together in all things here. We do. You know, we need to at least try. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think that, you know, she needs to get on the bandwagon and toe that line. That's what I think she needs to do. You know, that's why I think. Let's go ahead and move forward now. I got something here that a lot of people are talking about. James Comey. Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, he has pled guilty. I want you guys to take a look at this.
Ken, give us a sense of how this could play out there this morning.
Excuse me. Sorry about that. Not guilty.
Good morning, Anna. Well, as you said, James Comey is in the courtroom, and if protocol has been followed, he would have been booked before his appearance here, because this is not only his arraignment, it's a surrender. Remember, we've reported that people in the Trump administration wanted to have him arrested and perp walked, and an FBI agent resisted that and was fired as a result. But that brings us to where we are today, where he is surrendering. He'll be processed by the FBI, we believe, fingerprinted, perhaps a mugshot taken, a kind of a dramatic moment for a former FBI director. And then this hearing will begin. It's an arraignment, so the two charges of lying to Congress and obstructing an official proceeding will be read in full. He'll have an opportunity to enter a plea. There should be some discussion about conditions of release and any other matters that his lawyers think they need to bring to the attention of the judge today. It should be a short hearing, and it's unclear to us whether James Comey intends to make any public statements afterwards on it.
Ken, can you just remind us, we brought up the couple of charges that he's facing. Remind us what he's accused of lying about.
Everything.
Well, it's not entirely clear, Anna, and that's one of the interesting things about this case. The indictment cites a question that was put to him in a 2020 hearing by Senator Ted Cruz. And the context of the question was about his dealings with his deputy, Andrew McCabe, over leaks to the media. But we've subsequently learned that this actually isn't about McCabe. There's someone identified as person number 3 in the indictment. We've reported, and we've been told that is Dan Richmond, James Comey's former aide, who's working as a special government employee at the FBI. And so the issue is whether Comey was telling the truth when he testified way back in 2017 that he had never authorized anyone at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports. Senator Cruz essentially restated that question in the 2020 hearing. But none of this is clear in the indictment, so it'll be interesting to see if it's any more clear today. And for that reason and for other reasons, a lot of people think this is a very weak case. So weak, in fact, that not only was the Trump-appointed U.S. attorney forced out of office for failing to bring it, today we have U.S. attorneys, prosecutors in the courtroom on behalf of the Eastern District of Virginia who are from North Carolina. They're not from this district, which suggests that no line prosecutor in this district was willing to walk into court to bring this case on.
Rebecca, again, the two charges today are lying to Congress and obstructing a congressional proceeding. How serious are these charges?
Well, they're serious. If the government can prove the charges, he could face prison time. I mean, it would be unlikely, but he could. I mean, they're serious charges, lying to Congress.
Wow. So I'm going to stop it right here. So James Comey arraigned for lying to Congress. What do you think about this? Do you think that he will see any prison time? Do you think that this is just a dog and pony show? Or do you think it's the real deal?
It can be all three. It's the real deal because he lied to Congress. This is serious because he should be locked up just like any other Republican or conservative who they accused of lying to Congress. Show trial because these are Democrat area who voted for Kamala Harris by over 36% over President Trump. So those Democrats are not going to convict James Comey. The Democrat Party will not convict James Comey in that area. This is why I have said for years, Republicans need to have changes of venue and get people out of there. Get people out of there. Stop having your trials where you know the Democrat Party going to tell you no.
Where they know. Yeah. That's true. I don't think that he's gonna see any time.
Not now.
You know, I think that they brought this because they wanted to say that, hey, we're watching you. We got your back a little bit. We gonna make sure that we keep tabs on you. Folks in Congress, they never go to jail for stealing or doing anything. They really don't. But I think that, that it is what it is right now. It is what it is. I don't think that in our, lifetime we're going to see these politicians ever go to jail for doing, a crime like this. They just never. They never do. Even when they get caught red-handed, James Comey, he sit there, he looked crazy and deranged. I heard he's very tall as well.
Yeah, he's taller than Trump.
Yeah, so it is what it is, Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share.
Yeah, he's taller than President Trump.
Mm-hmm. I want to go ahead here, ladies and gentlemen, and speak about Chicago. War in Chicago. Oh, yeah, it is fire! Fire! It's fire right now. Fire and fury in Chicago. All right? There's a judge that granted partial temporary restraining order for the troops there in Chicago. I want you guys to take a look at this. This just came out about an hour ago here, so it's hour and a half, 2 hours ago, 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's quite fresh, so let's go ahead and take a look at it here, and when it comes back, we shall speak about it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys share. Here we go. And before we go, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to some folks here. I want to give a shout out to John Lennon and Sally Kushner. Thank you so much for taking our time there on PayPal. Shout out to you guys. Here we go. Make sure you guys share, hit that like button. We need your help. Here we go.
Been defined. And certainly if a governor or the legislator of Illinois would say, hey, come in, we want you to come in because there's a natural disaster or there's riots that we can't control, then that can happen. But when the governor and the legislator say, no, we don't want you in here, that's when we have this clash, and that's what this judge is going to rule on momentarily.
Okay, Karen, we just heard that, in fact, there is a ruling. The TRO has been granted. I want you to hear what was said during this. Anita Blanton is in the courtroom, and she's filling us in. And she said that the judge had said not even Alexander Hamilton could have envisioned one state militia to be used against another state's residents because the president wants to punish those with views other than his own, that this violates the 10th and 4th Amendment. Reaction to this?
I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all. I think that she did not find that there was a rebellion. She probably looked at this and said that, the ICE agents being here and the protests going on are going to cause some controversy. But does that rise to the level of having the federal government come in and dictate what goes on? And again, this goes back to the founding fathers, where we want a very strong state government, and we want a very weak, in some ways, federal government. The federal government's rights under the 10th Amendment are very limited. They're limited to a post office, coining currency, declaring war, things like that. Whereas the states have the authority to control and dominate and pass laws as they see fit and basically enforce those laws. So this doesn't surprise me that whatever was happening with ICE and protests, that it did not rise to the level under the Insurrection Act.
Okay, let's talk about the mechanism of the court system now. So the TRO is in effect. How quickly would you imagine that the Trump administration will then respond? Will they appeal that? How soon would you imagine that might happen?
I would imagine they're already preparing an appeal that will be filed momentarily. It's probably already drafted. But a TRO is not the end of the game. The TRO is basically this judge saying, I think you're going to win on the merits, and I find this to be an emergency, so that I'm going to issue this order on an expedited basis. But there still needs to be a full-blown trial and hearing on the full issue where the judge will then make a permanent decision. But as a practical matter, Scott, this decision is going to bar the National Guard. So hopefully, if they're following this rule and this ruling, is going to bar them from doing anything else until further notice.
Okay, apparently she also
Wow. So there you go. The temporary restraining order has been granted in Illinois. Now, what they are saying, Jamal, is that they believe that the president and his administration have enough evidence based upon the merit, but it needs to, go before the court. And the Democrats right now, they want it stopped. So they put the temporary restraining order to be put in place so that it can get, finalized by the judge at the end. What do you say to this here? Do you think that this restraining order is, basically, the precursor to it being permanent? Or do you think that, in a sense, this is just a little stumbling block and the troops gonna be there, no matter what? What do you think?
Well, what I think what's going on, this is just another thing of liberal Democrat judges, because she was originally to be served as U.S. Attorney for D.C. Court, but it stalled. In 2024, the Democrat Party still had the Senate. Okay? The Democrat Party still had the Senate. Her confirmation stalled in the Senate. That means she's a radical. Now, of course, what Donald Trump is going to do is appeal to the Ninth Circuit. And the Ninth Circuit is going to grant him the ability to do so because the president can. Now, it's the same thing I keep saying, Jermaine, and I make this again. How come this keeps happening in Democrat states where they attack ICE and fight like this in the street, but it doesn't happen in Florida, Texas, Mississippi? Why do illegals feel more emboldened in Democrat states?
There you go. Yep.
So if they feel more emboldened to get out here and do this in Democrat states, but they don't feel this in Republican states, they terrified if they get out there and burn the American flag and act like they do in California and Illinois, then that lets you know that it's a political thing and that they want to run and do things their way. So this judge, Jermain, is as crooked as a dog hind leg. This is exactly what she is. She's as crooked as a dog hind leg. When they said when she was nominated for U.S. Attorney, Perry was one of the two candidates submitted by the White House. Dick Durham and Tammy Duckworth. President Joe Biden announced the tent for them, but her nomination was reported out of committee. She didn't get it. She did not get it. They Senator J.D. Vance, in protest of the indictments of former President Trump, her nomination was withdrawn by July 11, 2024. She got thrown out. They said no. No.
I believe that this is just a little stumbling block. They have the merit based upon what's going on. Look at all the killing of ICE officers all across the country. Last week, we showed you some crazy protesters. They were pouring red paint at the ICE facility. Remember that? And the guy got caught up and he was shaking like this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Let me tell you something. The merit is there, ladies and gentlemen. It is. the criminals don't want Trump to come in because that means the money train ends. They can't push the drugs anymore. That's what's going on. The criminals don't want Trump to come in. It's very simple. So they're doing whatever they can. And of course, the criminal Democrat Party
love it.
Will definitely support it, right? Yeah. They're supporting them. Trump threatens to invoke the Insurrection Act in Chicago. I want you guys to take a look at this. Make sure you share.
We're going to make Chicago really great again, and we're going to stop this crime.
The White House is in a showdown with Chicago's Democratic leaders after President Trump mobilized 300 National Guard troops to the city to deal with what he says is out-of-control crime in the blue stronghold. On Monday, the state of Illinois filed a lawsuit to block the deployment of U.S. troops to Chicago, and the judge gave the Trump administration 2 days to respond. Later that day, Trump made clear he wasn't going to back down and threatened to use the Insurrection Act if he didn't get the necessary cooperation from local politicians and the courts.
Insurrection Act, under what conditions or terms would you?
Well, I'd do it if it was necessary. So far, it hasn't been necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason.
The Insurrection Act authorizes the president to deploy military forces inside the U.S. to suppress rebellion or domestic violence or to enforce the law in certain situations. It's one of the most extreme emergency powers available to a U.S. president. So how did we get here?
Because
here's what you need to know.
ICE agents.
President Trump's plan to deploy troops in Chicago comes as anti-ICE protests have intensified in the Windy City.
So I'm going to stop it.
Demonstrators have been clashing with federal agents since last month when U.S. immigration.
Right here. So Trump wants to, he threatens to use the Insurrection Act. He is in his right of way to do so. Don't you think, Jamal?
Yes, he's been in his right of way because here's the thing that I was saying earlier. This keeps happening in blue states. They keep doing this. You don't have a right to assault and hurt agents of the law. You can protest, First Amendment, right to peacefully to assemble. The same people who just won a revolutionary war against the British, the most powerful empire at that time, said you can come together, protest, but you better do it peacefully. Because they recognize what it was. They just got finished doing the Boston Massacre when people got together, started coming at the British soldier, and the British soldiers opened up. Okay? So they said, maybe we should allow the protest, but do it peacefully so that we won't get the people shot. Donald Trump, I believe he's waiting for the midterm elections, Jermain, to be over, and then he's going to tell the courts to flip off.
Yeah.
Because it's two, Democrats say one, Republicans say another. It's time to just, if you that corrupt, get rid of it.
Yeah. It's time, in a sense, for Trump to stop messing around with these folks here. And I believe if the courts act silly, Trump will just, enact it and go forward. And I believe he's in his right of way to do so. And he should do so if he gets any objection from anybody or anything. Trump also accuses the Illinois governor and the Chicago mayor of criminal offenses. This is a very big deal. And the reason why it's a very big deal, ladies and gentlemen, is because it goes into, the insurrection and everything else as well. I believe Trump is building a very, very strong case here. And I want you guys to take a look at what he is saying.
Have you asked the Justice Department to look at possible charges?
No, I've seen the law, and when you have a group of people where the police call off the safety for ICE officials. I've understood that, and I've read it today in numerous journals, that that's illegal. What they did is I guess it was ICE, Christie, right? They were under threat, and the police were helping beautifully, and it was fine. And then all of a sudden, a woman was on the line saying, everybody, move back, get out. And they were given an order by the second person in the police department, and the governor knew about it, the mayor knew about it. I understand that's a criminal offense.
Bow. So Trump is pointing out that, when it comes to the Chicago police over there helping ICE and the safety of ICE, they were told to stand down by those officials.
Yes.
And he's saying that, hey, that's a criminal offense for them to be doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So they're looking into, charging these folks for, how can I say, creating a barrier for justice there in Chicago. All right. And after this here, Trump called for jailing of Chicago mayor and Illinois governor. I want you guys to take a look at this.
This morning, more troops are on the ground in American cities. And moments ago, President Trump weighed in again and is trying to ratchet things up rather than calm things down. Again, sending out this message, we'll show you. Chicago's mayor should be in jail for failing to protect ICE officers. Governor Pritzker also.
There you go.
It comes as the Trump administration and Trump administration officials have been traveling to different parts of the country for firsthand looks at ICE operations. The DHS secretary was in Portland, Oregon just yesterday. A source telling CNN she met with the city's chief of police and others who oppose the military deployment there. And the FBI director, Kash Patel, was just in Chicago, where National Guard troops from Texas just arrived. They're doing training and awaiting specific assignments, possibly deploying as early as today. And at the center of much of the protests and clashes has been about 12 miles west of Chicago, actually, at an ICE facility in the town of Broadview. And the mayor of Broadview, Katrina Thompson, joins us right now. Mayor, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate your time. First and foremost, I want to ask you about the troops. You got the National Guard from Texas arriving in Illinois. There's a lot of lack of clarity of what happens next. Are you expecting them to come to Broadview? What are you preparing for?
Well, good morning. Thank you for having me. What I am prepared for is just making sure that we are communicating with the residents of Broadview and to protect them.
And I'm going to stop it right here. So
we do.
There you go. So Trump is calling for the Chicago mayor and the Illinois governor to be jailed. Now, this goes into, ladies and gentlemen, the Insurrection Act we were just speaking about, right? And it's because failing to protect the ICE officers. So this is his, his key to get in there. Jamal, what do you say to this here? Do you believe that the Chicago mayor and the governor of Illinois, do you think that they should be jailed in a sense for failing to protect the ICE officers?
Sharing and taking the $5 challenge. Jermain, they should have been did this long ago when they started all these daggone murders. When they had over 60-some people shot and 7-8 killed over July the 4th, then recently they just had 60 people shot, 10 dead. That's when they should have been charged with accessory before the fact. Their behavior, their attitudes, and their willingness to allow criminals to run and roam on the streets because they believe black people have been so oppressed and the black prisoners need to have a second chance. One, you have admitted black folk got a problem. That's number one. You admitted black folk got a problem when you say that, and we are more susceptible in committing crime, committing crime. So either we're excellent, we don't judge us all the same, or we're all the same. Woe was me. We're gonna rob you to turn you back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have been charged.
Yeah,
Donald Trump should have said, if any one of these states have a death of children, put it outside, put it there. As soon as somebody die, get them. That's when you arrest the mayor and governor. Yes, Pritzker and Johnson should have been arrested.
They need
100%.
to. It's a dereliction of duty, Jamal. It really is. It's a dereliction of duty. These folks have the obligation and the fiduciary and the responsibility to make sure they take care of the safety of their citizens, and they're not doing it.
No,
they're not doing it at all, and it's a failure. So much so that the federal government got to step in. To me, that's dereliction of duty. It really is. Pritzker says to Trump, "Come and get me." I want you guys to take a look at what he's saying. Oh yeah, he put his dukes up. Take a look.
Put his stomach up.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah, so he can come and get me. This is what he's saying.
And Donald Trump need to do, come get him. Donald Trump need to come get him.
So Pritzker here, yeah, I must have downloaded the wrong one. There's two of them. One didn't have the audio file. I think I played the wrong one here. But as you guys can see there, he's not afraid. He's not afraid at all. And the Chicago mayor as well. I want you guys to take a look at what he's saying. I got 3 different clips. He had a speech earlier speaking about Trump, and I want you guys to take a look at what he's saying about him. Our first clip deals with the Chicago mayor. What is his name? Brandon Johnson or something Johnson. He's saying that Trump is declaring a war on poor people. Take a look.
Again, the President of the United States of America has declared war on Chicago. Now look, between Randy and Stacy and myself, we're all social studies teachers. And I remember once upon a time there was another Johnson in office who declared war on poverty. Come on. And now we have a president who's declaring war on poor people. It's unconscionable. It's absolutely reprehensible. And so this president is escalating violence. He is spreading fear. This is his motive operandi. And what we've simply said was we have a right to resist and defend our democracy and to defend humanity.
Wow. So defending humanity means not arresting people for crime. This is what it means. Jamal, what do you say to this? He's saying that Trump is declaring war on poor people. And what, liberals say is that most of the crime is done by the poor. So, in a sense, when Trump is coming to stop crime, he's coming to lock up the poor people. And they're trying to save the poor people. What do you say?
Well, how many people have died? How many people have died? How many people have died in Chicago? How many children have died so far this year? And what have they done? They keep cooking the books because they send out this community policing and they drop the charges so they won't get severe. Donald Trump needs to have these people arrested. Donald Trump needs to do break precedents. Usually Democrats, that's breaking precedents. Nobody ever did it. Nobody ever locked up a former president either.
Yep.
One thing about once he go and they charge them, people will feel good. Think of the people whose family members are dead now because they put the same person back on the street.
Yep, that's true.
So they have failed and they need to be removed and or locked up because they allowing this.
Mm-hmm. And just because the person's poor doesn't mean that they're doing the crime. But if majority of them are poor and they're doing the crime, it tells me that Chicago has a problem with the economic system over there and it not working for everybody. And what it also lets me know is that crime got to be more economically feasible than to work, since there's so much crime there and the poor people are engaging in it. So I don't think, them saying that is a good barometer of what's going on at all. I think that when that crime clears up, a lot of people will make different decisions to get money rather than doing crime. And I think that that's something that liberals don't want folks to realize for some reason. Chicago mayor goes on to say that Trump's soul is deeply lost. I want you guys to take a look at what he's saying here.
He is the defender in chief. He clearly doesn't believe in not only democracy, but he doesn't believe in the sanctity of our collective humanity. And so what clearly is combustion, if you will, it's something going on in the side of that head of President Trump. And his soul is deeply lost, but the soul of America, the global capital of the world, the city of Chicago, we are absolutely clear of who we are and where we stand. And if the Congress will not check this president, this entire coalition in this beautiful city called Chicago will. Thank you all very much.
Wow. So he's saying that Trump's soul is deeply lost. There's something wrong with the side of his head. This is what he's saying. He's saying that Chicago and the world, they know who they are.
Murderers.
They certainly do. And there's something deeply wrong with Trump. His soul is lost. What do you think?
Well, you know what? If they can sit there and watch dead children repeatedly, people being shot, and they don't think they have a problem, then it is what it is. It's time that the American people feel the impact of their vote and who they voted for. It's time for people to feel the impact of their vote and who they voted for. Chicago is a hellhole war zone.
It is.
And they need to cut federal funding. They need to cut federal funding to Chicago until he does something and fix it. Let him fix it with the little change in his pockets, which he doesn't have. A
little change, yeah.
But my point is, to get back to my point, that Yes, he should be arrested. And if Donald Trump is declaring war on poor people, and he can get them out of the street, put them in shelters, and he just doing it for not even a year, how come you Democrats ain't found a way to remove the homeless and fix their homes and fix their lives? And they've been voting for you for over 10 years.
Through the roof.
Yep.
Through the roof. You know, Donald Trump is not deeply lost. They always say stuff like this when you're on to a solution that they don't like. You know, they say stuff like this. He's not lost at all. These people are mad that the money will be drying up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, it's all about the moolah. It's all about the cashola. The cashola, let me tell you.
Mucho dinero.
That's what it's about. And they know that, hey, once the troops come in, them drugs stop coming in, they're not able to get stuff to, you know, help their allergies out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're not able to get that stuff no more. It's a hard time. And last but not least, the Chicago mayor calls Trump a tyrant in the White House. Take a look.
The federal government, the Trump administration is terrorizing cities across America. You know, and as we have worked to make these necessary investments to build safe and affordable communities, he is literally undermining the hard work that we've put forward. And so, as mayor of the city of Chicago, my responsibility is to do everything that I can to protect people. And as much as we know that schools, playgrounds, parks, libraries, these are public accommodations that have to remain safe spaces. But in the meantime, we may have to explore and look at other ways in which we can keep people connected until we, fully defeat the tyrant that is in the White House.
Wow. So they're talking about fully defeat the tyrant in the White House. They want to stop Trump from coming in and stopping crime. This is how crazy our world is, ladies and gentlemen. The Democrats have convinced folks that Trump coming in to stop crime is a bad idea. Yeah. It's a bad idea. That's how you know we're living in the dark ages. People have a hard time looking at good and evil and distinguishing between the two. They just don't know. Jamal, my goodness gracious. They're calling Trump a tyrant for wanting to come and stop crime in Chicago there. What do you say? Last words on this man here.
They know under Donald Trump is going to come. Donald Trump is going to come and he's going to lock some people up. And they don't want their little precious little Junior to get locked up when Junior should have his butt locked up.
Yep.
That's what it should be. And people sitting here trying to cover it up. They're trying to cover it up because they don't want to see their child pay the consequences of what that child is doing. That child is doing wrong, committing crime. That child needs to be locked up.
Absolutely. A lot of those politicians understand what will happen when Trump comes. There will be a lot of their population, their populace, they're going to be crying, the constituents. That little Jimmy, little Marco, little Jamar Quavius and them, they're locked up. And there's no cash bail either. My goodness gracious. Ouch! No cash bail? They're going to be in there for a while. And that's something that, they're not trying to deal with. And also, ladies and gentlemen, the moolah, they're going to be missing out on cash. Crime brings in money.
Yes, it did.
You think that the tourism brings in money to Chicago? It does. Navy Pier and all those places do. But so does crime. People go to Chicago to get drugs. People go over there to commit murders. You better believe it, ladies and gentlemen. To sell guns. Obama's gun running operation, Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, went straight through Chicago. Yeah. So that's what it is. Stopping crime, stopping money. Bad deal for the people that are there. Let me tell you, a bad deal for them. Brother, let me tell you something. That is the end of our show for tonight. I want to thank you guys all for coming on in. Jamal, I want to thank you for stopping it in here as well. I want to thank everybody for donating and sharing. Brother, what do you say to our crowd? What do you think about the show?
Show was awesome. Show was good. I hope people did like the way I've transformed my page to make it reflect more of what we're doing. I'm trying to get a little bit more professional. Hopefully I'll be able to do comments and stuff in the background. But I'm just so glad about, of course, getting together and talking, Jermain, about what's going on. And one other thing I just wanted to say about Chicago wants the crime because the people committing the crime are the people's sons, daughters. Change this crime
as well. All right. Absolutely. We shall see you guys next time. All right. And with that being said, you guys take care. Have a very, very beautiful night. And we'll catch you later with another edition of Conservative Nation. Bye-bye.